I have here with me Joke Silva. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
And let me start with what's on everybody's minds, of course,
Yes.
these days, which is the COVID, coronavirus, and the lockdown. How were you able to navigate life through the last couple of months?
Lockdown. Staying home as much as possible.
Yeah.
Trying to obey all the health protocols
Yeah.
about, sanitizing hands, washing hands,
Yeah.
sanitizing, washing, and masking.
Yeah.
All those things,
Yeah.
yes. And of course, social distancing.
Very, very important. I ask that because there's a belief that people in entertainment or actors tend to be very restless because you're very creative. You're constantly looking for what next to do, what creative sort of juice to expel. So how were you able to stay and not work or just express yourself creatively?
No, it wasn't. Stay at not work. I think I've done more work in these last couple of months, especially the access to Zooming.
Yes.
Zooming has become very oppressive.
And intrusive.
Because now once people know that they can Zoom call you, it's a case of... I remember once I was on Zoom from like 9 a.m. in the morning till, with just short breaks in between, till 9 at night. And I said, no,
this
is harassment.
Because they feel they can get you anytime or anywhere.
Yes,
There's really
yes.
Yeah. What's the biggest lesson you think you've taken out of this last couple of months?
I think for me, the most fascinating thing is the fact that the Lord's mercy on us as a nation is incredible.
Yeah.
At the moment, I know that the government is working very hard to improve the fragility of our health system, It's going to take a while. It shouldn't take too long, by God's grace. It's going to... And we have not had the incredible numbers of fatalities that the rest of the world was expecting.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's God's mercy.
Yeah.
That we are really under God's mercy.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we shouldn't obey all the health protocols.
Or start slacking now.
Yes, we really need to.
Yeah.
We really need
I agree with you because I say that every week when I'm here. I need to remind people that there's still a virus out there literally killing people. And people need to be very mindful of that.
It's really sad, the numbers that we have lost. But by God's grace, we will not lose anymore.
How's Uncle Olu doing?
He's doing very well. He's doing very well.
Yeah, very good to know that. Let's go to your industry now, which you've been a pioneer of and been a part of.
Pioneer. Then when will you put the Mama T's at the time when I license on whose shoulders we stand?
Yeah, well
I'm very close to that generation.
Exactly.
Yes,
so I guess that's what I mean. You've been a part of it for a very long time, and it's gone through so many evolutions over time. The 90s came with its own sort of new home video swing to things, and then the DVD started, and now we're in a cinema era where things are starting to look like structure might be coming in some way, even if it's not deliberate. It looks like organically things are starting to look in place. The Netflixes are arriving. There's more eyeballs on the industry. How are you feeling about the way things are now compared to when you started? Because sometimes people say, "Oh, there's nostalgia back in the days." How do you feel about then and now?
Well, I think for those who have that sense of nostalgia, I'd like to say that, yes, there was a time when, we had incredible, well-thought-out stories. Those times have come back.
Yeah.
People are beginning to tell well-thought-out stories for the camera. Okay. There was a time when you would think that, these stories are being told for the theater. A lack of use of, the camera to tell the story. Yes. But that's improving. We're actually telling well-structured stories. So that sense of nostalgia, no, it's not there anymore. I mean, one just sees that there's an incredible possibilities, especially with all the platforms available. And I know that, anybody who is in this field right now, there's just so much work. If you're good at your work and if you're dedicated, there's a lot of work.
Yeah. You look at there's a lot of new people in the industry. Like younger people are making their way in,
which is wonderful.
Much more than in the past when the profession was seen a certain way. Now people are more eager to say, I want to be an actor.
Yes.
There's also the fear that that's opened up the window to all sorts of people coming in. Are you excited by what you see? Are you cautious? Are you nervous? What do you see with the new guard?
I think what's interesting about the era that we're in now, which I really like, because around the time when I came into the industry, those who were before me couldn't really work solely as creatives. They had to have something, even though their main passion was for this industry. So if you're looking at people like, I think, Auntie Bidun Allison, who was on Village Headmaster. If I remember rightly, she was also a banker. Yes. So, late Uncle Jabadu, I think he was also a banker. So there were a lot of, but gradually, with more work, people started focusing on being performers. Now, but then there were very few of us, that were strictly performers, that were strictly within the creative space. And then you just, all of a sudden, you then have the next generation where you have the Kate Henshaws, the Rita Dominics, the Bimbo Akitolas, and that generation. And then after that, you don't even know the names anymore. I mean, apart from people like Lala and all that, but there are just so many people now. Which is nice, which is good, because that then says to us that, yes, you have a profession. Some money at least is now coming in. It's not only that it is a profession. There is a profession, there is a livelihood, there's a pathway. So that's exciting. Now, because the entry level is low, yes, you do get all comers. You do get people who, I was very shocked when I heard of some people who just come into the industry. They just come in so that they can be seen, they can be known, and then
segue into other things.
And I'm like, this profession that I'm giving my life, So hopefully there are a lot of things that are being done to make sure that we reduce that. We have more focused people within the industry.
Who are very deliberate about what they do. I know you are very passionate about theatre and live performances. And there's always that, I don't know that I hear it very often anymore, but in the past there was always the talk about, some of the best actors always started on stage. Or had to have some stage background within them. We don't seem to see that very often anymore. Do you think that's a problem for the craft?
I really do.
Okay.
That's that's what I think, that's what I believe. I think it's very important. Till today, if you look at globally, the most successful, whether be it film or TV series, just check it. Whether it's their writers, their cinematographers, their actors, everybody has a theatre background. There's just something about having that theatre training, those skills, that helps you with the analysis of scripts, that helps you with your interpretation, because that's who we are as actors. As actors, we are interpreters of, the works of the writers, of directors, and things like that. So the more, I think, for us in Nigeria, the more skills we have, the basic training of theatre training in all areas, whether be it script writing, be it in directing, be it in acting, the better our work will be.
It would definitely reflect. Let me put you on the spot. Theatre or film?
I love both. I honestly, I love both, and I'll tell you why. The thing is that theatre has its own challenges, the immediacy of theatre, but the beauty of theatre is that you tend to spend so many weeks rehearsing, all right, and you form that camaraderie with the rest of the team. Of course, it's very immediate, so if anything goes wrong, you have to be very quick on your feet and improvise and all that. But that's for theatre, but the challenge for film and for camera work is that it can be so cold. it can be so cold. There's very little feedback.
Yes.
You know, so you really have to be very zoned in to the character that you're playing to deliver properly for a short space of time, and then you spend so long waiting for them to set up for the next scene.
Whilst taking character,
you know, and sometimes you come out of character, and then they tell you, oh, okay, we're ready to go, and then you find that space and get into character again.
Yeah.
So they both have their challenges, and I love them both. Yeah.
Something I know you're very passionate about now, which is one of the reasons you're here, of course. When you mentioned, you know, the fact that more people are focused on being just creatives and not necessarily having side gigs, like we say these days. The money conversation always comes up. And, you know, one thing that I know Nollywood has been criticized for a lot recently, or not too recently even, is the fact that a lot of people who've gone through the profession end up, you know, we see all of these things on social media, you know, people asking for funds when they fall sick or they catch a certain ailment, you know, and it's become a recurring question. Is it that money is not being made? Is there no insurance for these people? Why is it so regular almost for people, especially in your generation, who have gone through the industry for so long and should have acquired a certain amount of wealth, not able to sustain their health? You know, why do you think that is, and what is happening now?
Okay. Ebuka. That's it. My really damn question. Okay, but let me try and answer you.
Yeah.
I think it's three-pronged. The answer to it would be three-pronged. First is the fact that people are not budgeting properly, as far as I'm concerned. When we budget, we just budget for returns on investment, not realizing that a lot of, especially, and I'll focus, because that's my area, focus on the actors, not realizing that the people who bring your work to the public are the actors. They are they sell the brand of whatever the film is. It's the actors. And, you know, so there's this thinking that, oh, you know, an actor does two weeks of work and gets paid between 500,000 and 800,000 naira. You know, that's fantastic. Now, what people fail to remember is that that actor has to pay his rent from that, has to pay school fees from that, has to pay health, you know, all kinds of things from that. And he may not get another job
for quite a while.
All right? And so the other parts of the world that have thought about other ways of monetizing what the actor has done, yes, they have filmed it for me, but the life of a film is forever. So you can keep exploiting it and exploiting it and exploiting it. And when you're exploiting it, especially your leads, they should get returns from that exploitation. Do you understand? Yeah. So that's one. So in other words, the payment system needs to be looked at again. The fees, the remuneration we really need to look at that again. Now the other area is that because of that, now what I said feeds into the next reason, which is the fact that now because you know that this is all I'm making from this, so what used to happen and what did happen with a lot of my generation is that you just went from film set, and it's still going on actually, go from film set to film set to film set, from job to job to job to job, and it tells on the body. You know, you're supposed to earn enough from the couple that you do, yes, you know, so that you have a rest in between, because unlike you it's almost like you are the machine that's doing the job, you know, unlike other things that are, you know, put to sleep. Yeah, start and stop. It's you, and you're on all the time. So of course that tells on the health. So that is why for years, you know, the various executives of the Actors Guild of Nigeria had been searching for some kind of insurance scheme that would, you know, that would take care of health insurance. Okay. But unfortunately, a lot of those that were that are in existence or that were in existence couldn't understand the challenge of the actors. You know, for them, they felt that, this was the structure that they had. You had to pay everything up front, before they can, and that doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for us. We're like contract workers, so you cannot. I may have a job this month. I may not work for another 3 months. You do understand? But I may get like 3 gigs this month. Do you understand? So there's nothing certain. So we were able, but this particular set of executives, headed by Emeka Rollas, who is the president of the current president of Actors Guild of Nigeria, was able to come across an HMO called Medicard, who do what you call retail insurance, retail HMO, in which you can pay on a monthly basis. The various cadres of premiums are within reach of the different cadres of actors. That's number one. Also, for those who then can't even fit into the lowest cadre, we've already set up a trust fund for them, so that we can assist. Whatever they pay, then we add to it. And then another trust fund has been set up for those who cannot be covered with the current HMO scheme because they are already ill. So the 3 categories are covered, yes. With Medicard HMO, what we have, I need to look here now. The lowest cadre is the 1,850, and that covers practically everything, And so you have access to 600 hospitals. Yes, 600 hospitals nationwide. You have, and it's not only treatment, but the drugs are inclusive. Then you have group life insurance under that cover. You have kidney transplant abroad, discount per, and then now the beauty of this particular HMO is the fact that it's not only health but also lifestyle. So you can go to a butcher's and get a discount.
Wow. So this is open to all actors?
All actors, whether you're an actor for stage, film, or television, you're even a voice actor.
Wow.
As long as you're an actor, you do not even have to be a member of Actors Guild. However, you will pass through Actors Guild before you get to it.
Okay, if you're not you have to be a registered member of the Actors Guild to access this?
No, you don't. It's open to all actors, whether you're registered with Actors Guild or not. However, if you're not registered with Actors Guild, you still have to pass through Actors Guild.
To get access to this.
To get access.
Is there any way we can get information quickly?
Yes, you can go
through
on
the
their
Actors Guild of Nigeria?
Through Actors Guild of Nigeria, on the website, yes, on our website, Actors Guild of Nigeria website, you'll get more information. And then, like I said, there are different cadres of premiums, and one of the premiums is about 6,000 and something.
I think I'm definitely impressed. I mean, I heard 1,000 something, and I think that already sold me. I think that's absolutely amazing. So if you're an actor out there, make sure you have your. This is for you. I mean, I even want to go and act now so that I can tap into this. Thank you very much for this amazing piece of information, and looking forward to all of the great things that you'll be doing in the industry.
Thank you.
I have one request before we go.
Yes,
I know the late Amaka Egwe is not here anymore with us, but can we get a sequel again of Violated, do you think?
Well, Amaka is not here, and she created Violated. But Ego Boyo is around.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hopefully, yes.
Fingers crossed. You have told me, and I'm happy.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here today. Looking forward to all the actors being a part of this. Please make sure you don't miss this opportunity. It's absolutely amazing, and thank you for doing all the great things you do.
Thank you.